Hi, I'm Rubeli Marmuset, and today I'm going to make a presentation related to psychological theories of learning according to Skinner, Chomsky, and Piaget. Skinner was an American psychologist. From a young age, he showed great curiosity for building devices and also enjoyed writing. He studied at Hamilton College and later at Harvard. His theory about behaviorism is based around the idea that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning, which occurs during interaction within the surrounding environment. The main ideas of Skinner theory include positive reinforcements. It is when a pleasant stimulus is added after a behavior to increase the likelihood it will be repeated. For example, giving a cookie to a child when he shares his toys. Operant behavior. It is a type of learning where actions are strengthened or weakened based on the consequences that follow. Skinner believed that behavior is operated or controlled through the reinforcements or punishments rather than simply responding to external stimulus. Escape learning. It occurs when an individual performs an action to eliminate or escape from an unpleasant stimulus. For example, turning off a loud sound to stop hearing it. Avoidance learning. It happens when a person takes action to avoid an unpleasant stimulus before it occurs. For example, taking a different route to avoid traffic jam. And the last one, behavior modification. It is the process of changing on desirable behaviors or strengthening desirable behaviors through techniques such as reinforcement and punishment based on the principles of operant conditioning. As a conclusion, these theories highlight how behavior can be learned and modified through interactions with the environment, which has had a significant impact on psychology and education. Real life classroom situation where teachers can use behaviorism to promote learning and good behavior. This is my favorite. Positive reinforcements to encourage participation. When a student answers a question correctly, the teacher can give a prize, a star, or extra points. This reinforces the behavior of participating and responding. Reward system for good behavior. Implementing a token or point system that a student can exchange for privilege, like extra free time or a small reward. This motivates students to maintain appropriate behavior. And the last one, clear and conscious instructions. Repeating and reinforcing classroom rules, ensuring students understand expectations and applying reinforcement or consequence consistently so they learn which behaviors are acceptable or not. Noam Chomsky is an American linguist and cognitive scientist that is considered the pioneer of the nativist theory. Chomsky rejected the behaviorist theory and instead he suggested that children are born with the ability to learn a language. In the nativist theory, we can find language acquisition device is a hypothetical tool in the brain proposed by linguist Noam Chomsky that allows human beings to learn a language. Universal grammar is a theory in linguistics that suggests that the ability to acquire language is innate to humans and that all languages share a common underlying structure. Language acquisition in children. The innate linguistic knowledge provided by universal grammar make it easier for children to learn their native language as they can rapidly grasp the shared principles and underlying structures that govern its use. For example, by the age of 3, most children can form complex sentences without any explicit teaching. Chomsky emphasized that while language has structural rules, humans have the innate ability to use them creatively. Syntactic transfer. When learning a second language, speakers may transfer syntactic structures from their first language to the new language. This transfer can be explained by the universal grammar principle, as the shared structure across language allows for easier understanding and assimilation. Language typology and diversity. While individual languages may differ in certain aspects, underlying similarities, as postulated but universal grammar, allows linguistics to create categories and group languages based on shared common areas. Real life classroom situations where teachers can use natives, encourage natural conversation, create opportunities for students to engage in spontaneous, meaningful conversations to activate their innate language abilities. For example, making conversation related to social media. Number two, use repetitive language patterns. Incorporate activities that involve repeating common sentences structure, helping students internalize grammatical rules naturally. And the last one, focus on universal grammar principles. Highlight similarities across languages. Example, subject, verb, object, to help a student to recognize universal grammatical principles. In summary, Noam Chomsky states that children are born with an innate knowledge of language when they are born, and learning their native language is associated when hearing from others. Jan Piaget was a Swiss psychologist and pioneer in developmental psychology. He studied natural science and earned a PhD in zoology before shifting focus to child psychology. His cognitive theory attempts to explain human behavior by studying the mental processes involved when trying to learn and understand. Piaget's theory outlines four stages of cognitive development. 1. Sensory motor. Infants learn about the world through their senses and motor actions. They experience the world through actions like grasping, sucking, and looking. Object permanence, the understanding that objects continue to exist even when out of sight, is a key development during this stage. 2. Preparational. Children develop symbolic thinking and language. They can use symbols to represent objects such as pretend plate. They also develop an understanding of different perspectives and can start to understand concepts like conservation. They understand it that the amount of something stays the same even if it changes its in appearance. Number three, concrete operational. Children develop logical thinking about concrete events. They can understand the concept of conservation and can solve problems involving real objects and events. They are not yet capable of abstract reasoning. And the last one, formal operational. Adolescents and adults develop abstract thinking and reasoning. They can solve abstract problems, understand hypothetical situations, and engage in scientific reasoning. They can also think about complex concepts like morality and justice. Cognitive theory in the classroom. Use scaffolding techniques. Break down complex tasks into smaller, manageable steps and gradually remove support as students become more competent. Encourage active learning. Incorporate activities that require students to think critically, such as problem solving tasks, discussions, and hands on experiments. And the last one, organize information with graphic organizers. Use charts, mind maps, and or diagrams to help a student organize and visualize information, enhancing understanding and memory. In conclusion, Piaget's theory underscores the importance of active discovery based learning environments where tasks are matched to child developmental stage. Rather than passive instruction, teachers as facilitators. Here you can take a look to my reference, and that's all. Thanks for your attention. Bye.